Although my love of railways is fairly obvious, what is less known is another passion of mine: dragons. I adore dragons, and my home is full of them. But I would never in a million years expect these two loves to coincide together, unless it was in the realm of Harry Potter. But a book in the Railway Museum proved me otherwise. Thanks to the stories sailors brought from their voyages, and the increase in fictional books depicting weird and wonderful creatures, the Victorians became obsessed with myths and legends, especially the lore of the sea serpent, great mythical beasts that were longer than most ships, with large toothed mouths that could devour sailors in a single bite. In the book of Dragonology, it lists a great sea serpent-like beast called the Asian lung. This dragon resides in water and was credited with the coming of storms. The legends of these great beasts soon went from stories to entertainment. Sideshows and theatres would entertain crowds, and businessman Walter Stenning wanted in on the action. He was not only a keen promoter, but a great inventor, and had designed many attractions travelling around Europe, and was proving popular. The growth of the railway network had been spectacular, and by the 1900s people were travelling for pleasure, and day trips to cities or the beach was becoming the norm. People enjoyed travelling on railways, and Stenning wanted to capitalise on this. In 1899, Walter patented a new type of railway ride. He used a portable narrow-gauge railway designed in 1878 by Paul Decauville. It was a half-metre gauge track that was 1,500 metres long. Initially, the rails carried a steam locomotive, but steam locomotion would not work for Walter's plans. Instead, he decided to merge trains and legends together. He took his idea to France, where he met Parisian armourer M. Daniel Tacot. Tacot took the designs, and with it a monster was born. According to one magazine at its unveiling, the monster was amphibious, equally at home on the water as it was on land. In reality, it was a small train concealed by a cover or a carapace. The train runs on a track either laid on ground or submerged in water. The skeleton of the serpent is formed of 11 small wagons, each fitted with iron framework forming the ribs. Each car was covered in a wooden shell and connected to adjoining cars with a compression-sprung coupling to hold the cars at a fixed distance apart, and covered by accordion-like bellows, which expands and contracts, permitting the train to run around sharp corners. To complete the illusion, the whole train was draped in a heavy canvas. The canvas was decorated in brass and silver scales, and its head was hollow brass and copper. The head alone weighed a literal ton and took 6 months to complete. It was more than an engine, it was a work of art. Even the tail was intricate and would swish left to right as it moved. The idea was to hide the track and the mechanics as much as possible, so it appeared the sea serpent was alive and well in the carnival. Well, how do you ride it? Unlike trains where you were enclosed, seats were provided along the serpent's flank, with footboards to rest your feet on. There was room for 21 people per side. The canvas would act as part support for your seat, and it worked like a hammock. On each seat there were curved side rails. Each passenger would sit down, and a wooden seat underneath the canvas would support their torso, while the canvas supported the back. Think of those hammock chairs and you kind of get the idea. The beauty about this was that the canvas hid the chair when it wasn't in use, so the serpent would appear flush and whole, adding to the illusion it was alive. To power the beast, Walter decided to use electric power rather than steam. As the track was going through water, third rails and overhead power was just not an option, so Walter relied on battery power with twin electric motors. The motors would power a chain which would drive twin wheels. The plan was to have a driver in the Serpent's head. However, the plans were changed and the driver's controls were placed behind the head instead. The Serpent was completed by the summer of 1900 and entered the Paris Exposition. It was soon moved to the Jardin d'Acclimation. The park was the perfect place with plenty of attractions and a zoo showcasing animals from different countries. The park still runs today, even the track is still there, but the Serpent went on the move. News of it spread across the pond to England, and in April 1901 it took the spot at Earl's Court for the military festival. The concept turned heads, even earning a column in the Railway magazine. People were both amazed and repulsed by its appearance, and the train was renamed the Chinese Dragon. And the legend of the dragon was matched with it. In 1902, as part of the coronation celebrations, the ride appeared again at Earl's Court to great fanfare. Word spread quickly, and soon dragons were being developed everywhere, including America and as far away as Sydney. By 1908, portable recreational railways were a part of shows, circuses and fairs all over the world. But like many rides, people's taste change, as with safety regulations, and gradually the use of sea serpents and dragons diminished in favour of changing trends and ideals. But we do occasionally see Walter's vision, not in a railway. But have you ever wondered where the inspiration for some dragon roller coasters came from? It's not too far-fetched from both the legend and, of course, the Serpent train.